Hey guys, it's Roger again from Tree Life, Tree Service, 584 Tree. I've been trying to get a handle on doing everything myself because I'm doing I got an answering service, but I'm still having to basically do all the estimates, keep track of all the estimates and follow-ups and all that stuff. And I don't have a software program for it yet. I've been looking at a couple different ones. They sent me this in the mail. I'm going to look at this, but I kind of like old school, write stuff down, but it gets kind of confusing. So I found these activity logs, which is really helping me a lot, because when I get the information sent to me from the answering service, basically it tells me name, address, and phone number, and they were putting the name, the address, and the phone number together. And so when I would push on the phone number or the address, it would basically not work. So I called the answering service and I told them, listen, separate the numbers. So instead of putting the name, phone number, and address, I told them put the phone number, the name, and the address, and now that's working. So now I can, like on your smartphones, you can click the address or you can click the the phone number, and hit send, and it'll automatically go to it. Hit the map button, it'll automatically go to it. That keeps you, when you're driving, to having to pull over or try to figure out, punch in another phone. I have two phones, so what I was doing is just looking at the phone number and then punching it in, or if I was in the Tesla, I would just punch in the phone number or a voiceover and say dial this number. So between changing a few things, which are very simple, but it makes a huge difference, especially when you're driving, trying to do estimates. But this is another game changer too. I know you guys are probably, I'm old school, so I'm doing everything manually. But what's nice is I write all my estimates here, and then I can keep track of, like if I left a message, I got a hold of them. I did the estimate, we did the job, and then we can go, and then there's a reference, time, date, name, everything's right there. I'm not going to show you the one I filled out, but these are, if you have a business and you're still doing it old school, you can get these for like $10 at an office supply, and there's enough here to do probably, I don't know, 100, 200 estimates. But I'm getting some custom ones made, but this is going to really give me a good idea of what exactly I want on these sheets, because this is just a rough draft. So when I get some made, I'm going to, of course, have them custom made for me. There's a few things missing here, but I'm making it work. But if you guys want something for now, just to bide you over till you can either get a software program or you get something custom made at a printer, these will work for you. So, and then I also got these little clipboards, and I found out these handles at the bottom are awesome, because when you're carrying these around all day, I used to have ones without the handles, and you either have to put it under your arm or just hold on to it like this. Having this at the bottom, it might be a little bigger, but when you're walking around with the customer, it's a lot easier to hang on to it like this. And the inside is just very simple. Keep my estimates here, and then also too, I started using these pens with 4 colors, and that way you can designate certain things on your proposals that you want to stand out. So, and then also too, a lot of times your pens run out of ink. You got 4 chances. So not all of these are going to run out of ink at the same time, and they're not very much bigger than a regular pen. So I recommend having one of these. It's like having 4 pens in one. And then I also carry around a residential tree removal guide. You can pick these up. I picked these up at town hall, but this tells you all the little rules and regulations of removing trees in Orange Park. So if you have one of these, and then you can put your little sticker on there and hand these out to your customers that live in the area. So this basically gives them the basic rules of what you can and what you can't remove and what you have to have a permit for. So these are really handy, they don't take up much room. Throw about 3 or 4 of these in there, and then you can hand those out to customers, or at least show them, you know, what the local laws are for tree removal. Here it's mostly live oaks that are protected, and you know, most of your other trees are, you don't really have to have a permit for. So anyway, that's just really good to know in what areas. And then here I got another one that has a calculator at the top. These are pretty handy as well. I got a couple different variations. They have a nice place for your pen down here. I kind of wish they had a place for your business cards. So you've got a place for business cards and a pen, and then also too, I didn't think about it, there's a place for like a magic jack right there. So you could put your, I mean not magic jack, your square. So you could put your square in there, and then that you always have it, you know, when you're coming back to collect payment. You know, I guess that's for an eraser, but a square would fit in there perfect. So that's that. Another thing I wanted to go over is business cards. I usually try to keep at least 100 or 200 business cards on hand. I buy a little bit more expensive ones because I don't pass out a lot of them because we're just a small company. Here's our proposals, and our proposals turn into an invoice once it's signed and all the work's completed. Also too, we don't usually take any money down except for if the job lasts more than 2 days. So I usually try to get paid after the first day, kind of lock them in, and then it just works out better because you have money to pay your usually, like if you have a crane that day, if it's a 2-day job, I usually have a loader truck or a crane, or I usually have some kind of sub that comes in to help me with the job. So it's nice to have money at the end of the day, so it covers basically your payroll and any additional costs. Because if you have a job that's over $2,500 and the customer decides, you know, to bounce the check or something happens, I usually try to get money that first day, and then preferably cash or credit card. That way you know the funds are good immediately. If they give you a check, sometimes that check can bounce. So I usually try to go that night, run that card, run that check or whatever, and make sure that I have money before I start any more work the next day. So, and usually 9 times out of 10 our jobs are finished on the 2nd or 3rd day. So at least you get half your money down, and basically pays all your overhead, so you're not taking money out of pocket to do someone else's tree work. Anyway, I got my business cards in. I've been ordering the same business cards for over 10 years, and I just really like the business cards I get from Vista Print. I make very subtle changes on them. I've never seen this. Normally they don't come in this little plastic wrap, so this is different. I usually order 250 at a time. These business cards are a little bit more expensive than your average. This is more like a credit card. I did change them up a little tiny bit. The old ones were red, the new ones are orange. So I don't know, I make just real little subtle changes to them, and then I put my last name on this card because this way people can find me on YouTube. Before, on some of the cards I didn't put my last name, I just put Roger, and then I also put links to the websites and stuff on these and made them a little bigger. Made a mistake on these old ones. It's harder to scan if you don't put a white border around them. Very hard to scan these things. So I made you can see I made the scanner a little bit bigger and more clear, so the phone picks it up right away. You just want to make it easy as possible for people to basically scan your card, or they won't do it. You know, if they try it once or twice, it doesn't work, they're not gonna try it again. So, like, you can see my old cards, how hard it was to see it, like right here. And now the new ones have a big fat scan barcode thing. So anyway, a lot of people say you shouldn't spend a lot of money on business cards, but I think you should. It's you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So when you hand someone your business card, and it's of course, my business card hasn't changed for years. Also too, I ordered the thicker ones, so it's basically the same, almost the same exact size, consistency, and strength of almost like a credit card. So people are less likely to throw it away because they know you paid money for it. And also too, there's, you know, just places to scan on there, and there's websites on there to look up. There's a Tesla website, there's our website, and there's a couple other things on there. I'm not sure, it's been a while since I scanned all these things, but it's just an excellent way to show people that you're serious about your business. You know, if you buy a bunch of cards that are like 2 or 3 cents or 5 cents a piece, it's pretty likely that people are just going to throw them away. Also too, I like to have a picture on my card. A lot of times I'll pick up business cards from people, and then months later I can't even remember like how I met them or who they are. And I'm like, man, it's like, where did I get this business card from? I've had people call me back that I barely met. I gave them a card, and they call me like 4 or 5 years later, and they're like, you know what, I found this card, it was in my drawer or whatever, and I remember you because you have your picture and your picture of your daughter on the back. Also too, when you have a picture like this, a family picture, it just helps as well, because they realize that, you know, you have a business in the community, you have a family oriented business, locally owned. It just, I don't know, it's like kind of like a picture says 1,000 words. I've had a lot of compliments on this. My daughter's like 3 here, now she's 8. So I've had the same card for over 5 years with almost the same exact picture, different variations. So it's just hard to beat. I didn't really have this picture taken for these cards, but it just worked out, and I couldn't have designed a better picture. I just got lucky, and it turned out to be really awesome for my business cards and very simple. So anyway, if you can, I don't know, maybe go to a professional photographer and have some pictures taken with your kids, or have your kids with the chainsaw or anything like that, it really, it's good for your business. So, but these business cards here, I order from Vista Print. I order 250 at a time, and I think they're like $150 or something like that. So they're almost 50 cents a piece. I mean, you can order more, but 250 seems to be a good number for me now that we downsized. I used to order, you know, 400 or 500 at a time, but now I can make subtle changes every time I order. Every couple months, I'll just make subtle changes, and that way, basically I can also too, if I get the card back or someone shows me the card, I know approximately when I gave it to them just from the subtle changes. And every once in a while, there's just, you know, something you want to change or make a little different, or maybe you're like, yeah, you know what, I made a little mistake, I probably should have kept it the same or whatever. But it's nice just to be able to change real little subtle things that probably nobody recognizes but you. But I do recommend spend a little bit more money on your business cards. Also too, when I used to have paper cards, they would get ruined because sometimes I would leave them in the truck, I'd leave them in my pocket, I'd do the laundry, and then you just end up with a big goop of business cards, and they'd all be stuck together. I've actually ran these through washers and dryers, and they last. The worst thing that's happened to me, I think I had them, they got bent. They were either in the dryer in the hot sun, and they got twisted. And what I did was I just boiled some water in the microwave, and I stuck them in there. And once they heated up, they flattened out. I put them on a flat surface, and believe it or not, they were just like new. So these are super durable cards. I even use them to scrape stuff off my windshield. I use them to basically when I'm putting new stickers on a vehicle or a trailer, I use these. So they're super handy. It doesn't ruin them either. Sometimes you just have to clean the edge up, but they're still good. So if you don't want to use a credit card or a debit card, you can actually use these, and they work just as good. So they're not only good as business cards, they're handy for almost anything as far as scraping is concerned. Anything you're going to use a credit card for or something, a debit card or any type of card, you can use these instead. It's only going to cost you less than 50 cents, and they're still going to be good afterwards instead of ruining your credit card. So anyway, I try to pass out like 2 or 3 of these a day. I used to pass out 10 a day, but we're busy enough now to where I don't really push it. If I meet somebody or talk to somebody, I'll give them a card. I only give them 1 or 2. I don't give them a stack. If you give someone a stack of cards, pretty good chance they're just going to throw them away. So I only usually give people 1 or 2 cards unless they're asking for more, or they they have a small business as well, and they have a place to put them in their business. So, but anyway, that's my spiel for today. We're doing estimates tomorrow. I got to catch up on my estimates. I got a little bit behind because it's hard to do the work and do the estimates, but I prefer to do it myself. I prefer not to hire anybody because, like I said before, you end up doing jobs that you don't want to do, and then a lot of times they're underbid, and then a lot of times you don't have the right equipment. If you go look at a job, you know exactly what you need, and you're always prepared. A lot of times you get estimators that haven't really done the work themselves, and so they don't realize exactly what it takes to get the job done. So a lot of times you're not very happy with the outcome. Once you get to the job, you have to really go above and beyond and do things that you don't normally want to do to get the job done. I'd rather know what I'm in for before I go to it, and I like to know if I make a mistake, it's on me. If someone else makes a mistake, I have to pay for it, so I'd rather pay for my own mistakes. Anyway, if you like this video, crush the like button, and I might try out some of these software programs. If anybody knows anything about this this software program here, let me know. I'm going to Google it and research it and find out how much it is and what exactly it does. It would be super nice to have something automated, but I would like to have it integrated with the answering service. So basically the transition of information from your answering service to your software, that would be key. If you would be able to automatically transfer all your leads right into your software, and then you could just hit a button and it would basically what would be really cool is if you could integrate it when I get my Tesla truck, and you could actually have all your information on the screen, your customer, the address, basically what they wanted. So I can see that in the future, having a screen in your vehicle that basically tells all your customer information. You're able to call your customer, interact with your customer, and basically do all your transactions right on screen. So hopefully Tesla will have people writing software that you can integrate with your phone and your computer onboard computer on your truck. So I know the Cybertruck and some of the other commercial vehicles that they're coming out with, I'm sure they're going to have something that can integrate with that, because they're coming out with semi trucks, and they already have software programs and different computers already integrated. It tells you, like, you know, basically where your next shipment's going, keeps track of your mileage, your directions and everything. So if they could make a smaller, simpler version, or something that could go in the smaller trucks like the Cybertruck, or if they make another commercial vehicle for local deliveries, I think that would be an excellent idea. So I'm sure it's coming in the future. I just wish it was here now because it'd make my life a lot easier. And when you're doing everything yourself, it's nice to have some software or something to any little tool you get, no matter how small or whatever, it helps tremendously, because it's overwhelming when you're running a small business and you're all by yourself, and you have to answer phones, take messages, do the estimates, do the follow-ups, do the job, go collect payment, and then, you know, it's just on and on and on and on. So any chance you get to help yourself, even if you have to spend a little money to make your life easier, it's the best investment you ever make. So anyway, guys, sorry for the rambling. This is Roger with Roger's Reviews and Tree Life Tree Service. If you like this video, crush the like button and subscribe, and I'll bring you more trials and tribulations of running a small tree service on your own. Have a great day.